Jet cars, funny cars, monster trucks, wheel standers, the flames, the smoke, the ground-pounding action that tells you it's time to get ready for some of the wildest, most outrageous displays of unchained, unleashed horsepower ever to hit the strip. These vehicles own the market in explosive, raw pedal-to-the-metal performance. Don't try to stop them or get in their way, because if you do, you're going to get burned up, blown up, stepped on, or simply blown away. It's get out of town or get gunned down as Scimitar Motorsports brings you 30-plus minutes of pure hell on wheels. It's out of control. Jet cars. Next to Top Fuel, these monsters own the quarter mile. In speed, looks, and performance, nothing comes close. There are three things that matter in these cars: the jet engine, the driver, and his ability to smoke the quarter mile. Nothing else counts. Nothing else matters, because there are no tomorrows when you're strapped in this stripped-down version of a surface-to-air missile. You're either going to meet your maker, or you're going to go through the traps in under 5 seconds. Creating an average of over 8,000 pounds of molten thrust and about 5,000 horsepower. They can propel a driver down the track in record-breaking, neck-cracking runs of over 300 miles per hour. Combining both military and civilian surplus technologies, these bad boys of firepower are given new life as grandstanding kings of the quarter-mile exhibition. Run after run, day in and day out, nothing else at the strip looks or acts anything like them. When the wick is lit, look out, because there's no way you're going to hold them down. That is unless you chain them up and watch them lay waste to some of Detroit's finest. Talk about meltdown. Even 3 Mile Island couldn't do a better job as the exhaust from these monsters turns a typical night at the track into a scene reminiscent of a Pittsburgh hellhole. Want to drive one of these wrecks home? Doubt it, as the 2,000-degree plus heat puts fire to steel. In an awesome display of sparks and smoke, leaving only the charred, burned-out skeleton of this once proud showroom special. Like a bull-breathing fire at the rodeo. When you get strapped in this beast, you're guaranteed the ride of your life. Jet cars provide the excitement, the energy, the raw brute force of a bullet riding on wheels.
After all this excitement, you have to ask yourself one question. Do you feel lucky today? Well, do you, punk?
Crushing, crunching, and crashing. Four-wheel drive gets and gives new meaning when these towering tubular mountains of steel, rubber, and power get together to butt heads. Taking the basic idea behind the standard four-wheel drive truck, the owner's manual and the warranty card are pitched in the trash as the fabricator cuts and torches his way to a new high-profile chassis assembly. The chassis that is designed to take the pain and dish it out too. Strap on a Godzilla-sized power plant, some huge meats, and you've got a recipe for pure destruction. Combining four-wheel looks from just about every make and model, the factory connection ends here. As every conceivable modification is made to produce a vehicle that's got the blood and the guts to put the hammer down on the competition. Monster trucks are every bit as radical and crazy as they look, with many sitting as high as 10 feet from the frame to the ground. Where'd the rubber plantation go? Right here, pal. With huge customized tires, these four-wheel giants know the real meaning of rock and roll as they lay waste to the early model gas-guzzling sleds, giving the guy at the wrecking yard something to smile about other than the sheep he has penned up behind the barn. Remember, these trucks aren't primed up for speed, just big torque. Big ponies and enough gearing for anyone. Whether you like your juice strained or with pulp, these trucks will squeeze it out for you, putting on a crack show sure to get the crowd on its feet begging for more.
You smell that? You smell that? What? Top fuel, son! Nothing else in the world smells like that! I love the smell of top fuel in the morning. It smells like victory.
It's time to pour on the fuel, top fuel that is, as we roll out some of the fastest stuff ever given a reason to run. Burning and gulping huge hits of fiercely flammable nitromethane. These barnstorming dealers of highly volatile quarter-mile runs deliver up horsepower and decibels, and when the lights come down, the track lights up with crackling top fuel power. With around 5,000 horsepower, these cars mean serious business. And with that business comes breakage. The bill for a typical top fuel run, whether funny car or dragster, comes in the thousands. For you rocket scientists, that is just one run. And when you think about the raw, instant-on, in-your-face power these cars deliver in seconds, it's no wonder that when something goes wrong, it can go wrong in a big, big way, costing big bucks and big teardown time. But hey, what the heck? They gotta love what they're doing because it's top fuel, coast to coast, worldwide. No other class compares or comes close. How will you know when a top fuel car fires up? Believe me, you'll know. Take a whiff and hold on to the dead wood, because top fuel tears your lungs out, knocks your socks off, and blows you right off the map. We've got more to come in just a moment. The launch, the big hit of nitrous oxide, the whine of a supercharged engine, wheel standers. The high-balling, high-flying, straight-up showman of the quarter mile put it all on the line to get the crowd on its feet. When the wheels come off the ground, this ain't no dog and pony show. Shooting for the stars, these ground-pounding, gut-wrenching monsters pull out all the stops to put on a show and a half. Reinforced chassis, fat tires, wheelie bars, big hits of nitrous oxide, and a death-defying stone-cold attitude of winning at all costs. Need a lobotomy? Just hop in. Strapped in and strapped down. The pilots of these vehicles take a real beating, and not just in the pocket. When the car launches hard at the light and the bottom drops out, so do their teeth. One such wheelie king was recently quoted as saying that when he hits a double shot of nitrous oxide at the light, it's like getting rear-ended by a car at a stoplight. And when the car comes down, a dump truck hits you again. No question about it, these drivers not only take the pain, but can dish it out as well. Jamming full 7 and 8 second runs down the quarter-mile strips of hot season asphalt, wheel standers give their fans all of the guts and glory you could ever want in a race car, pulling out all the stops for the ultimate roller coaster ride. Slamming and jamming. There's nothing else like them on this planet or any other. So if you've got a chance to check these guys out at the track, don't miss them, because there's a good chance you'll blink and they'll be gone. Talk about a bunch of cars taking huge hits of nitrous oxide. Here's a group of cars that lap up the nitrous like a horse at a water trough. They are called Pro Mods, and they are setting new standards for being the bad boys on the block. Lean, clean, and pit bull mean. Pro Mods burn up precocious amounts of horsepower while cleaning up the track like yesterday's laundry. Pro Mods are as unpredictable as they are awesome. When the lights come down on these gunslingers, you had better get out of town or run for cover, because they're firing all barrels in a full frontal assault, taking the finish line in the 6-second range. What's hot in Pro Mods? Well, what's not? Modern, sleek body profiles complement one of the hottest power packages in racing today. New breeds push the envelope open even wider, strapping on a blower unit for a screaming, wide-open, terror-filled trip to the moon. If Pro Mods have a purpose, it's one purpose only: to get down the track and get there the fastest way you can. Stripped down, fully armed, and straight ahead, the Pro Mod way. Crunchin' and munchin', Pro Street packs the powerful poison of 7-second quarter-mile runs. These cars define drag racing, with lethal doses of nitrous, alcohol, blowers, and pure brute force. These cars have come from alleys, dimly lit back roads, and abandoned airstrips to slug it out in a bloody, bare-knuckled fistfight, showcased with a wild and wicked display of smoke, fire, and burning rubber. Pro Street is a back-to-the-basics course in the way it was and the way it should be. The blue-collar approach to quarter-mile execution. No suits and ties here. No parties down at the yacht club. No big fancy dinners with all the big shots, and no hookers when you're sacked out in Vegas. Pro Street is a 2 a.m. down and dirty, guts and glory, pizza and beer, mom and apple pie version of the American dream. From California to New York, from the great Midwest to the sweltering tracks in the deep South, Pro Street kicks the door down, crashes the party, then torches the house with some of the hottest action this side of Japan. If you want an explosion of horsepower, then strap yourself into one of these sticks of dynamite and light the wick, pal, because you're going for a ride on the street. Pro Street, that is. Alcohol funny cars. These 200-proof missiles show no mercy as they throttle up with some of the hottest action seen on the drag strip. Did you think top fuel kicked butt? Did you feel the third-degree burn of the searing heat of the jet cars? Well, alcohol funny cars are just as rad and just as bad. In fact, these monsters can crank up and crank out thousands of horsepower with the explosive force of a suitcase full of C4. Want a high five? You've got it. As alcohol provides the Kentucky Still kick of high 5 and low 6-second runs from hell. Spitting and sputtering, these dogs come not just to bark, but to bite as well. Like feeding a pit bull some gunpowder and Drano, these rip-roaring vehicles of the quarter-mile terror will suck your eyes through your ears and tear your throat out with some of the toughest and meanest drag racing performance ever seen. Whether they are putting the hammer down or just plain getting hammered, alcohol funny cars are the cocktail of choice for many quarter-mile fans. Alcohol. It's loud, it's fast, it's wild. No need for anonymity here. Alcohol jumps up, cleans out your clock, and tells you it's time to go racing. So grab a designated driver, touch your nose, and head out to the strip for a double shot of fire-breathing, olive-spinning, high-velocity, high-performance energy. The only way, the alcohol way. Whether it's pro modifieds, jet cars, top fuel, super stocks, wheel standers, or whatever you're liking, I'm Al Tucci for Scimitar Motorsports, and I'm out of here. And remember, you don't have to drive fast to enjoy fast driving. See you next time.